Have you ever really thought about what financial risks might be hiding inside the products you buy every day? Well, today we're going to unpack a really powerful tool that helps investors spot those hidden dangers, and we're going to use it to look at one of the most controversial ingredients in the world.
I mean, think about it. The stuff you use all the time, your soap, your laundry detergent, your makeup, they seem totally harmless, right? But some of them contain ingredients with supply chains that create huge environmental, social, and yeah, even financial risks for the companies that make them.
So here's the plan for this explainer. First, we'll look at the standards that bring all these issues to light. Then we'll peek inside your shopping cart to focus on a specific industry, uncover its 4 biggest risks, and then we'll do a real deep dive into the palm oil problem. And finally, we'll see how measuring this stuff creates accountability and why this kind of disclosure is just so powerful.
Okay, so how do we get this kind of information in the first place? Well, the answer is in a new kind of reporting. One that's not just about the profits, but about sustainability.
This is where the Sustainability Accounting Standards Board, or SASB, comes in. And you can see they're now part of the IFRS Foundation, which basically sets global accounting rules. So we're not talking about some niche activist group here. This is the mainstream of financial reporting. It's all about creating a common language for companies to talk about their sustainability risks. You know, the easiest way to wrap your head around a SASB standard is to think of it like a nutritional label on your food. But instead of showing calories and sugar, it shows a company's performance on really critical issues like water use, waste, and supply chain impacts. It makes all this complex information way easier to compare and understand.
And the way they do it is incredibly methodical. Each standard has 5 key parts. It starts by defining an industry. Then it pinpoints the most financially important risks. Those are the disclosure topics. After that, it gives specific metrics, tells companies exactly how to measure them, and then adds context with activity metrics, like, say, how many products they sold. So, with that framework in mind, let's see how these standards actually apply to an industry we all deal with constantly. We're going to look at the standard for household and personal products. And this category covers a huge range of stuff. We're talking about all the things under your kitchen sink and in your bathroom cabinet. It's everything from cosmetics and cleaners to razors and paper towels. These are massive, global businesses that sell their products in the stores where we all shop. Okay, so for an industry this massive, what are the sustainability risks that could actually hit a company's bottom line? What are the things that investors and financial analysts are really paying attention to? The standard really zooms in on 4 crucial topics. First, how they manage water, since water is a key ingredient. Second, the health and safety of the chemicals they use in their products. Third, what happens to all that packaging after you're done with it? And finally, the environmental and social impacts of one very, very specific ingredient, palm oil. And it's that last one we're really going to focus on today, because this one single ingredient shows just how incredibly complex and risky a modern supply chain can actually be. Palm oil is, well, it's popular for a reason. It's cheap, it's incredibly versatile, it's in so many things. But as we're about to see, that low price tag comes with some very, very high hidden costs. I mean, this quote from the SASB standard summary really gets right to the heart of it. Sourcing palm oil can be directly linked to destroying forests, which is a major driver of climate change, not to mention a whole host of other serious issues. So here's the crucial point. This isn't just an environmental problem, it is a business problem. A company that relies on palm oil from unsustainable sources could face total supply chain breakdowns, sudden price hikes if regulations change, and, of course, massive damage to their reputation. The standard also points out that palm oil production is often tied to some pretty significant labor issues. Okay, so if that's the problem, what's the solution? How can an investor or even a customer tell which companies are actually managing this risk? Well, this is where measurement and disclosure becomes so important. To create some accountability here, the industry relies on third-party certification. The main one is the Roundtable on Sustainable Palm Oil, or RSPO. Their whole goal is to create a system you can actually verify for palm oil that's sourced without causing all that environmental and social harm. But here is where it gets really complicated. The word certified doesn't always mean the same thing. The SASB standard forces companies to report exactly how much of their palm oil fits into one of 4 different RSPO models. And trust me, they are not all created equal. Let's just compare the 2 extremes here. On one side, you have identity preserved. This is the gold standard.
It means the oil in that final product can be traced all the way back to a single, certified, sustainable plantation. Awesome. But on the other side, you have book and claim, which is, well, it's very different. Here, a company using non-certified palm oil can just buy credits from a certified grower to, quote, offset their use. There's no physical connection between that sustainable oil and the product sitting on the shelf. The details really, really matter.
So why does getting into this level of detail matter so much? It's because transparency changes behavior. It just does. When companies have to report data in a standardized way, investors can finally make real apples-to-apples comparisons. They can see which companies are actually managing their supply chain risk and which ones might just be, greenwashing. This helps them put their money in smarter places and gives all of us the information we need to hold these companies accountable. And this brings us all the way back to your shopping cart. Just imagine if that nutritional label we talked about was on every single bottle of shampoo or box of detergent, and it showed you exactly how the palm oil inside was sourced. Would that change what you choose to buy? That's the real power of disclosure.